Welcome back, guys, for part two in the Google Ads Mastery series for e-commerce brands. Now, the Merchant Center is something that is always forgotten about. It's always left to the side, when in fact it is the core and the hub of your entire Google e-commerce operation. The Merchant Center is essentially your hub of all your shopping ads, and it needs to be looked after properly. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the key core components of what to do, how to manage a Merchant Center, how to troubleshoot any issues that arise, and really get into the nitty-gritty, because a well-managed and well-oiled Merchant Center is one of the keys to a profitable Google Ads campaign. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to Rob, and he's going to go all through it with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to make sure that you mention them in the comments below. And over to Rob.
Hey there guys, me again Rob, your Google Ads expert from Bayer Digital. Hope all is well. In this video, I will discuss about Google Merchant Center Mastery for profit, not just approval. How your product feed decides whether you win or lose. You see, most agencies focus on the campaign settings, but the real battle for e-commerce is won or lost in your Google Merchant Center. So if your feed is just okay, your ROAS will always have a ceiling. You see, most brands celebrate when their products are approved, but in the UK market, approval is just the entrance fee. If you want to actually make money, your feed needs to be an optimization machine, not just a spreadsheet. So today I'm showing you how to turn your merchant center from a compliance tool into a profit engine. We'll be discussing about the feed optimization techniques that boosts your visibility and CTR, or click-through rate, for your shopping ads. We're going to be discussing about product titles, descriptions, GTINs, images, and pricing, and about diagnosing disapprovals and suppressed products in your products feed in your Merchant Center account. And lastly, we're going to talk about Merchant Center settings that most brands ignore. So first, let's talk about feed optimization that boosts visibility and your click-through rate for your shopping ads. Let's pull up one product here to show as an example. All right, now you see Merchant Center is the SEO of Google Shopping, or search engine optimization. Now, the attribute secret is that Google doesn't have keywords, as you may already know, but in shopping, it has product attributes. Now, every field here that you will be leaving blank is going to be a missed opportunity to show up for a specific search. So on the top section right here, you'll be able to find the key attributes of your product, like the product title, the pricing, and the availability. If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll be able to find more technical product attributes under additional details. But most if not all, the most important attributes of your product are found in this portion right here. So you'll be able to find attributes like the GTIN, or the global trade item number, MPN right here, which is the manufacturer part number, so the brand, and so here other attributes like the product color, the size, what the product is intended for. Is it for female, male, the age group? Now, you see, in a standard search campaign, you pick your keywords, right? So in Performance Max and Shopping, which are the main campaigns that you're going to be using for your e-commerce brand, so you won't be able to choose keywords that you want to use for your advertising, because Google's algorithm will be the one that's going to read your product attributes. So like the information that you provide, like the product title, description, and product type, and that will be the deciding factors which search queries that your ads are going to be shown for. Now, so for example, if your attribute for, let's say, your uh, product color is missing, you're not able to provide that, then you won't show up for black and white shoes, even if the shoes in the photo is clearly black and white. So for example, if a client is, or if a customer is looking for black and white shoes, your ads will not have a chance to actually show for that specific search, and hence you will be potentially losing on potential sales. Now here, the more attributes you provide, the faster the AI learns who your ideal customer is. So always make sure to fill out all the product attributes as much as you can, and that will definitely help the performance of your shopping ads. Next, let's talk about the core 5 attributes, and that would be the product titles, descriptions, GTINs, images, and pricing. Now, these are the levers that move the needle on your CTR or click-through rate. And first, let's talk about product titles. So this is the matching engine. Now, let me just pull up a product here. You see, your product title is going to be the number one signal that Google use to match your product to a search query. Now, unlike with search ads where you bid on keywords, like I said, shopping ads use titles to decide your relevance or your product's relevance. Now, a generic title like per se, blue shoes, that is going to ignore 90% of search volume. So an optimized title like this, which includes the brand, the product name and model, key attribute and style, color, and the size. So this type of product title will help capture long tail, high intent traffic. And as you know, Google weighs the first words most heavily. So you may want to front load the brand name and the core product type. Now, let's talk about product descriptions. So it is very important to add all the important attributes or features of your specific product because a clear, detailed description reduces accidental clicks from customers or people who realize later that the product that they're looking at isn't what they actually wanted. So, providing technical specs like dimensions, the weight, certain features or attributes about the particular product that you are advertising. So that helps gives customers the confidence to click and buy, and that directly boosts your conversion rate. So it also helps in improving click-through rate and trust. And with higher relevance in your product descriptions, tends to lead to a higher quality score, and a better quality score often means you pay less per click. Now, also just an FYI, always prioritize the first 150 characters for your product description because mobile users and AI snippets rarely read beyond the initial hooks. So make sure to include all the important details on the first 150 characters. Now let's talk about your product attribute G10. So let me check the additional details for this product. So this is the box for the G10. Now, uh, G10 is going to be your product's digital passport, right? So, just so you know, products with the correct G10 often see a 40% more impressions on average and a 20% increase in clicks, and it can significantly lower your ads cost per click or CPCs compared to those without. Now, for this particular client, they don't have a G10 included, though they have a product ID or SKU, but these two are different, just so you know, to avoid confusion. So now for your G10, think of it as like a trust badge. So for the algorithm, Google knows that a product with a verified G10 is less likely to be a fake or a counterfeit or a low quality listing. So it gives you better placement for less money. Also, just an FYI, like I said, the uh, product ID right here on top and G10 are actually different. So a lot of Google Ads managers and advertisers get confused with these. So the product ID right here is your store's internal serial number. So while the G10 is the product's international passport. So the product ID or SKU is for your internal tracking. That's the purpose of it. While the G10 is for your for the product's global identification. So it's actually assigned by the manufacturer. Now, if your products have a G10 and you decide not to include it in your product's attribute, your ads for your products may have a limited performance, and that is actually a silent ROAS killer because your ads will still run, but they'll be restricted to the lowest quality traffic. So if you have it, make sure to add it in your product's attribute. Now let's talk about your product images. Let me just open up a product here. Now, you see, using the proper image for each of your product is essential because 90% of a shopper's decision to click happens in the first zero point 0.2 seconds of seeing an image. So before they read your price, your title, uh, they consume your product image. Now, for the product images, contrast is everything. So you may want to make sure that you're going to use high quality white background images for the main slot that is recommended, like this one. So for the best practices for the background, make sure to use a solid white or perhaps a transparent background. So make sure that there are no borders, no watermarks, and definitely no sale or free shipping text overlays because Google will suspend your products for those if you have those on your product images, and those products will not be eligible to serve in your ads. So also for the framing, the product should fill 75% to 90% of the game. So this main product uh, perhaps would be needing replacement. So I'll advise our client for this one and make sure not to leave too much dead space around the item. All right. And don't just stop at one photo. So you can add up to 10 additional images, as you can see here, and that helps build trust to your customers. Now, you may want to show the side of your items, the back and interior. So if you sell bags, for example, you may want to show like the pockets. If you sell shoes, you may want to show the thread, something like that. So also include the detail shot, as we call it. So use close-ups to show texture, like this one. So texture like for example, the stitching of the seam, um, the grain of the leather shoes, for example, if you're selling shoes. I always tell my clients that your product image is your digital store window. If the window is blurry, dirty, or cluttered with 50% off stickers, high-end customers will walk right past. So always make sure to keep your main images clinical and professional. And lastly, I want to talk about pricing. Now, accurate pricing for your products is a make or break factor because it impacts customers' trust and also your ads conversion rate. Now, you see, shoppers use price as their first filter. So if your feed price is, for example, $289 or 289 pounds, but let's say your landing page shows $300 or 300 pounds, so customers will bounce immediately. And Google monitors this price mismatch, and if that happens, if Google detects that there is a price mismatch in your products, Google will disapprove those products or even suspend your account to protect user trust. So it is highly important to make sure that your not only the price, but all of your product attributes or details are as accurate as possible with your landing page. Also, just a few tips for one of the best practices that I do is always include the currency code. The price in your feed must match the product price on your landing page. So if you're targeting the US, so of course USD. If you're targeting the UK, GBP, something like that. Now, also, one more thing is that the product automation and the real-time sync, that is highly important. So it is important to enable automatic item updates in your Merchant Center account to avoid mismatches. So to check on that, so by the way, this is once you create a new Google Merchant Center account, usually this is already enabled, but you always want to make sure that this is already enabled. So how to do it? Just log into your Google Merchant Center account, and then from here, click on the products tab right here under products and store, and look for automations right here. Click on that, and here you'll be able to find those um, what they call this automation in real-time sync that you need to enable. So for example, price updates, availability updates if a certain item is in stock or out of stock, condition updates if your item is per se brand new or secondhand. So all you need to do is on the far right for each of these criteria, just click on view details, and this should be toggled on. So again, it should be automatic once you create a Google Merchant Center account, but it is highly important for you to always make sure that these are all enabled. So just go here, check on that, and toggle on all of the data. And also, just a pro tip, optimizing price isn't just about being the cheapest, just so you know. If you are a luxury brand, for example, including the price actually pre-qualifies your traffic or customers, because it stops people with low budgets from clicking your ad and wasting your money. So that helps naturally increase your conversion rate as well. So next, let's talk about diagnosing disapprovals and suppressed products in your Merchant Center account. Now, you see, in e-commerce, a disapproved product isn't just an error, it's a silent ROAS killer. Now, if 10% of your bestsellers are suppressed, for example, you are effectively capping your revenue by 10% before you even launch your campaigns. So today, I'm showing you how to find existing issues affecting your product's performance. Now, as you can see, this is the account dashboard overview. You'll be able to see the total number of approved products in your products feed, how many products are being limited or has limited performance, not approved, and how many products are under review. Now, from here, you can click on products. Now, first you need to know the difference between disapprovals versus warnings. Now, green means that the product is eligible, approved without any existing issue that are affecting your products. So yellow or orange would be warnings. So the red ones stands for products that are disapproved. So again, red stands for disapprovals. It means that your product is out of the game. Now, this usually happens for policy violations like misleading claims or data errors, like a price mismatch. And then yellow or orange is are warnings, and this means that your products are still showing in your ads, but they have limited visibility. So some ads may be only visible or may only show on certain devices or on certain countries. So that's how they're affecting your products with the limitations. Now, think of warnings as a yellow card for the limited performance, and you may want to fix them before they turn into a full disapproval, because eventually they can turn into disapproved products. Now, from all products tab, you want to go to needs attention tab. So earlier we were here when we were talking about automations. It's just beside this tab. Go to needs attention. And usually this is automatically toggled on. All right, so what this is the prioritize fixes toggle. So you may also have this view as a default. So what you want to do is you click on prioritize fixes. So for this account, for this client, they don't have any prioritized fixes in the account. So let's talk about this first. The prioritized fixes toggle right here is designed to help you cut through hundreds of or thousands of minor warnings and focus on what is actually hurting the bottom line. So when this toggle is on, Google uses its internal AI to filter your needs attention tab. All right, so it's only going to show you the issues that are estimated to have a medium or high impact on your product's performance and click potential. Now, while this is something that you should always look out for, it's also important to work on the other low impact issues that are affecting your products. So to see that, just toggle this off. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, click on this button that says show all fixes for you to see all the warnings that you got for all the products that you have in your feed. Now, it's also, while this is a low affecting or low impact issues, you want to make sure to continuously review and work on these because they can accumulate over time and they can slowly degrade your overall account health. So again, from here, say for example that this is your view. It says here that all your products are or prioritized fixes are resolved. You may think that there are no products that has existing issues that you need to fix. If this is your view, just make sure to untick this, prioritize fixes. and you'll be able to see the low impact issues that are affecting your products. And again, to show all the issues present in the account, just click on show all fixes. And to view all the products under each issues here, for example, missing gender, simply click on view products. Also to add the most common silent disapproval, it also happens when your feed says one thing, but your website says another. So for example, your product pricing displayed in your merchant center doesn't match the price of the products on the website, or if your shipping cost isn't clearly defined in your Google Merchant Center account to match your checkout exactly on the website, Google will then penalize your account health even if the products stay approved. So you want to make sure that details, especially the pricing for your products in your Merchant Center account, exactly matches your product's pricing in your website. And last but not least, let's talk about Merchant Center settings that most brands ignore. We'd like to call it the secret menu of Google Merchant Center. And one feature is feed rules, which is now called attribute rules. So let me show you first where to find it. And I'll provide some information on how to use it or what the benefits of using it. So here under settings, when you log into your Google Merchant Center account, look for data sources. From here, just click on your primary feed source, and you should be able to find a tab that says attribute rules. So this is how to get there. And this is how you can add a new attribute rule. So just in case that you don't see it in your account because this is not automatically enabled or added in your features, all you have to do is when you log in under settings, go to add-ons right here. So that option should be under this page. All you have to do is click on add. So once it's added, it's automatically going to be found here under data sources, under attribute rule. I'll go to your primary source first, and then attribute rules. So this feature, you can refer to it as your magic wand because they allow you to rewrite your product data after it leaves the website, but before it reaches the Google ad, all without touching a single line of code or waiting for a developer. Now, this is the magic wand for ROAS, specifically because one, you can test a new title, a title structure today, and then you can see the results by tomorrow. Another could be A/B testing. So you can create rules for half your products and see if the optimized titles get a higher click-through rate. And lastly, it keeps your website looking clean while making your ads look intent-rich. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is promotion assets. So promotion assets are the secret sauce for UK e-commerce success, and that would be during high intent windows like Boxing Day and the January sales. So that's the little blue special offer tag, and it signals to the bargain hungry UK shopper that your ad is where the value is. Now, you'll find this feature in your marketing tab. So when you log in here on the left side, click on the drop down next to marketing and click on promotions. This is how you find it. And you can click on add promotions right here, manage promotion sources. Now, pro tip, do not wait until the 26th of December, for example. See, Google has a two-stage approval process for promotion assets. Now, policy review and a web validation. That would be the two. So if you submit your Boxing Day promo on Christmas Day, you might miss the peak morning traffic while waiting for an internet Google to approve it. So submit them at least 24 to 48 hours in advance and use the start date feature to keep them hidden until the clock strikes midnight. Now, when creating a promotion asset, you have two choices, either no code or with a promo code. And also just an FYI, a common mistake to avoid that kills ROAS is mismatching your promotion. If your ad says, for example, 20% off, but the landing page on your website says 10% off, Google will automatically disapprove the asset. All right. So if you're running shopping ads without promotion assets, you're showing up to a race with no shoes. So get that blue tag live and you'll see your cost per clicks actually become more efficient because your click through rate is doing the heavy lifting. And last but not least, one of the secret menu or features of Google Merchant Center account is shipping and returns, which is not commonly used by a lot of advertisers, surprisingly. Now, we've all seen them. Those are the little free day delivery or free 30-day returns, for example. So those are the badges on Google Shopping ads that you commonly see. Now, these aren't just uh, text; they're actually annotations. Now, if you don't have those set up in your merchant center, your click-through rate will tank. Why? Because UK shoppers are impatient, as we already know, and they want to know exactly when that package or item hits their doorstep and how easy it is to send back to you if it's not right. Now, let's get this plumbed in properly. So, first, to find it, when you log into your Google Merchant Center account, you need to click on the drop down for products in store right here, and you'll find shipping and returns. For example, you're offering a free 3-day delivery or free 10-day delivery. So you can go to shipping policies and click on add shipping policy, and you can input all the necessary details, and local pickup if you have a physical store where customers can pick up the item. So if you're going to set up returns, for example, free 30-day returns, this is where you go, return policies. Now, common mistake to avoid, you want to make sure that your merchant center settings match your website exactly. So if Google's price crawler sees that you're, let's say, offering free shipping on your ad, but there is a £5 delivery fee at your checkout on your website page, for example, Google will automatically suspend your account for mismatched shipping costs faster than you can say ROAS. So you want to make sure that everything is accurate with your website. Now I want to show you the most underutilized section of Merchant Center. Now in the old version, we called it the Growth tab, and in the Merchant Center next, it has been moved and upgraded. Now to find it, look at your left-hand menu right here. Click on Analytics, and then under Products tab, click on that one. And then from here, look at the top, you'll find Popular Products. Click on it. Now, this is the new home of the bestsellers report. And if you aren't checking this weekly, you are leaving money on the table. Now, you may ask, why does this matter? Now, most brands only look at their own data, what they are selling, but the popular products report shows you what the entire market is buying. Now, you can filter this by category, per se, shirts and tops, pants, outerwear, or whatnot. And Google will show you a ranked list of the top selling products in these categories across all of Google Shopping. Now, these aren't just a report, it's a competitive intelligence tool. It allows a small boutique like in Manchester to see the same market demand data that a massive retailer like ASOS or John Lewis is using to plan their seasonal lines, and it levels the playing field. All right, so don't just focus with your campaigns and start looking at your feed. A 10% improvement in your product titles per se is worth more than a 10% increase in your ads budget. So optimize the data and the profit will follow. That's all for me today. Thank you all for watching. Until next time.
That was really insightful. In fact, I've been doing this for nearly 12 years now, and I'm still learning something new every day when it comes to Google Ads for e-commerce brands. So if this is something that you found really useful, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below if you have any further questions. And if you're an e-commerce brand and you're struggling to get your merchant center working in the right direction for you, then feel free to use the link down below to book in a call. Me and my team will happily jump on, go through it all with you, and it's absolutely free. There's no commitment, there's no expectations on our end. We'll just want to help you to get along. So if that's something of interest to you, use the link down below to book a call even, and leave your comments down below as well. All the best.